Okay, being able to interpret simple results of a DNA test, kind of like what we saw in the crime scene simulation, and to a lesser extent we'll see in the lab we're going to finish today, which is a real DNA test in a way, in some ways. Know about different ways to apply it. The two most common things that we at least usually talk about, the DNA testing, sorry, the proverbial it, is crime scenes, so forensics applications, and in that case, what you want to do is you want to take a suspect's DNA profile and match it to a crime scene. So DNA found at a crime scene, DNA from a suspect, you want to see a match. Now it might be a partial match, because maybe there's more DNA than just the suspects there, but kind of be able to interpret that context. On the other hand, a DNA test can also be used for fraternity applications, and in that case, half the DNA from the child comes from mom, half the DNA from the child comes from dad, and you need to be able to use a fraternity test to explain the child's genotype by some combination of the maternal and paternal genotypes. Okay, it's a little different.
Yeah, do we know how to do that yet, or just know that that's what it's used?
I think, I suppose I could give you a couple examples just to be sure that we know, but it's the same idea. It's kind of like a puzzle. It's like, yeah, I'll give you guys an example of that to show. It's not that different than the previous one, but I guess that would be fair just to make sure you've seen it at least once. Okay? I have a few questions about the particular labs, nothing real in-depth, just some superficial, what did you do in this lab kind of thing. So, questions about size exclusion chromatography lab, P-glow lab. I guess there's those two. I'll tell you if I come across another one. All of the steps in eukaryotic gene expression. This is a little bit of an offshoot from something I talked about a minute ago. So, unlike bacteria, where pretty much everything is regulated by at transcriptional level, bacteria have that coupled transcription and translation. So, the vast majority of prokaryotic gene expression regulation involves you either transcribe or you don't, and then everything else goes forward. In eukaryotes, you have transcription, you have post-transcriptional processing, you have translation, you have post-translational processing, you have protein targeting, protein folding, all of these things. Every one of those can be a point of regulation. So just know all the different points where gene expression can be at least potentially regulated in eukaryotes. Not mechanisms, that's coming later, but just big picture stuff. Levels of protein structure and amino acid structure, we talked a little bit about that. So we have know kind of what are the similarities and differences between different amino acids, and what are the levels at which protein structure is described. A little bit about DNA sequencing, what it's used for. And I'm not going to kill you on this because we just did it, but basics of the chain termination method that we talked about last time. That's it.
What chapters in the book are we like in right now?
Almost all of it. Almost all of this.
Last test was like 1 and 2.
Yeah, and this one mostly 3.
Okay.
Yeah, we've we've hit it. Now, I have kind of, the way I handled it was, I'm thinking more in terms, not in terms of what's in your book. I recommend you keep your book because.
It helped
this-
last time, actually.
Good,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
supposed to. Well, that's why we get it. I didn't do it. Yeah, the way I structure things is, in this particular case, the intro book is one of those books that I think is gonna make a very useful reference for you later, which is one of the reasons I wanted you to get it. Biotech is so diverse, and this might be the only book that you ever get, only textbook at least that you ever get that covers all of the main areas of biotech. So, but it's, from this class's point of view, it's designed to be a reference, but I think you're gonna find that it's gonna continue to be a good reference as you continue through the program. I mean, it doesn't go into as much depth as some of your classes are gonna get, but if you just need to get a starting place, that's, the intro book's a really good place to be. Yeah, so mostly 3.
How many questions on
Say something else. How many questions?
the test?
618.
Oh, yeah.
All of that was in 50 multiple choice questions and 2 short answer, well, kind of small essay, like, edit on a page. Handwritten.
That's different than the last test, right? Last test, that's different. It was different from the last test, right?
That's
I don't
50,
remember.
50.
Yeah, we had
How many was on the last
like
test?
10 short answers.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if this is good or bad. There's advantages. The non-multiple choice can be a little more painful, but they can also be ripe sources of partial credit.
Yeah.
Too. So we'll see how it goes, and I might, if it doesn't go so well, which I think it will. I think this. I hope you'll agree that I'm one of those professors that I'm not a big believer in the validity of how tests measure learning, at least traditional tests. I like take home tests. If this test average doesn't go so well, I might give you guys another one.